Right then, you horrible lot. This week on Burntwolf Airsoft, I'm going to take a look at importing airsoft guns to the UK from overseas. First things first, remember, whatever you get will end up getting checked by customs. I don't think they'd keep their jobs for very long if they'd ignored x-rays showing AK-47 shapes. Make sure you also have a valid defense and the item complies with the UK laws. Otherwise, you'll end up getting in a lot of trouble for being the world's worst arms dealer. Customs are going to check your Yukara to make sure it's not going to someone who shouldn't have it. Importing is not a way to get around Yukara checks, and the customs people will often phone up sites to check players are registered. So make sure your site sorted out all the paperwork at their end before you go off and ordering things. Next up, make sure to use a trusted site. Your money's going to be going to the other side of the world, and it would be all too easy for sneaky types to run off with it. Stick to websites you've heard other people have ordered from and had good experiences with. Also, check the exchange rate daily. The value of currency changes from day to day, and sometimes it pays to wait around for the pound to be stronger. You will literally be getting more for your money. At the moment, the exchange rate's a bit naff for imports from the Far East, from what I've heard, and this is adding a fair few quid to orders. Now, this is where things get complicated. Import tax and UK duty and handling. Yes, that's right, the pesky government want their cut. If you're importing from an EU country, there are currently no charges other than shipping and handling. This is set to change in 2019 thanks to Brexit though, but I can't make a comment on what may or may not happen in the future, so if you're watching this video after then, make sure you do a little bit of research online. When it comes to shipping from outside the EU, this is where importing can become a bit of a bugger. First things first, you're going to have to pay for the product and the cost of shipping it to you. So add these two numbers together. Then use this number and add on UK duty, or as we know it, VAT. Duty-free basically means it's not had VAT added, and you're going to have to add this yourself to anything that costs over £15. At the time of making this video, VAT is 20% of the value of the product. Then on top of this, you're going to have to pay import taxes. This varies from thing to thing. I couldn't find out what RIFs were classed as, but all the examples were between 0 and 4.7%. So add on 5% to your order just to be on the safe side. You're also going to have to pay handling and customs charges on top of all that. This is basically paying the chaps at customs for running around checking Yukaras. This is £8 at the moment according to Google, but maybe a bit higher than this. There can also be handling fees at the other end too. This can be a bit of a con, as the order could be marked as £5, but they could want £100 handling. Now, once the gun's in the UK and the custom chaps have decided it's okay for you to own your pure, they'll get in touch with you with the amount of money that you owe them for UK duty and import tax before they let it finish its last steps to you. And if you don't pay, well, they'll chuck it in the bin and you'll have wasted your money. You'll also have to wait for it to clear all those customs checks. And even then, on rare occasions, customs will deem perfectly legal guns as weapons and just destroy them, as the chaps I spoke to make this video have had it happen before to one of their perfectly normal airsoft shipments. And basically, even though they're a legitimate registered retailer, they didn't have a leg to stand on to claim any of their money back. Guess customs just needed to fill a quota or something. But anyway, moving on. As a rough example, a gun that costed £200 to buy and ship ended up costing around £270 when everything was said and done. And a good basic equation to work out the damage to your wallet would be to add the gun and shipping costs together, then add on 30% to that figure. Also, remember, when ordering from far, far away, that returns and warranties are going to be a bit of a ball ache. So be prepared to do your own legwork fixing something if something goes wrong or turns out to be a lemon. Importing guns from far, far away can sound like a good way to get guns on the cheap. But from what I've learned, the hidden cost will make it cost nearly as much as it would to buy in the UK. My advice for anyone wishing to import guns would be to check all the prices, run things through online calculators, and be prepared to potentially get stung. Or, better yet, and what I do, Get in touch with a retailer who stocks things from the company that makes whatever you're after and get them to order it in. They'll have the contacts either with the company or a wholesaler that deals directly with them, and let them do all the legwork and pay them accordingly. However, normally this will negate any savings, but I think it's a safer bet as these shipments will be insured by the importers and you'll also be covered by their own personal warranties. And that's a brief look at the complicated world of importing airsoft stuff. I hope I've done at least a half-decent job on this video, as there's so many terms for the same bloody things. Big thanks goes to Brandon for suggesting that I make this video. Wish he bloody well hadn't now. Researching this has actually given me a headache. As always, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more airsoft tips, tricks, reviews, and how-tos. Anyway, back to whatever you were doing. At ease.